الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
عدد خلقه ورضا نفسه وزنة عرشه ومداد كلماته ومنتهى علمه وجميع ما شاء وخلق وذرع وبرع عالم الغيب وشهادة الرحمن الرحيم الملك القدوس العزيز الحكيم أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد يحيي ويميت بيده الخير وهو على كل شيء قدير وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم أرسله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله ولو كره المشركون أما بعد فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا أما أحدكم الناس فليكفف فإن فيهم الصغير والكبير والضعيف والمريض فإذا صلى وحده فليصلي كيف شاء رواه مسلم. Alhamdulillah, after praising Allah and sending peace and blessings upon His beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we want to spend a few brief minutes extracting some benefit from one of his ahadith, one of his sunnah. One time, as it was narrated by Abu Mas'ud al-Ansari, a man came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he said, I don't pray Salatul Subha in congregation anymore. Salatul Subh is the morning prayer that most of us are more familiar with the term Fajr. It's the obligatory morning prayer. The Prophet ﷺ, he often used the word Subha. And he said, I don't pray Subha in congregation anymore because the one who leads my people in prayer, he prays too long. He elongates the prayer. And so the Prophet ﷺ became extremely angry. And the narrator of the hadith, Abu Mas'ud al-Ansari, he said, وَمَا رَأَيْتُ نَبِيَّ صَلَى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ غَضِبًا أَشَدَّ. He said, I never seen the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam so angry. And then he stood up and he addressed the people and he said the following. He said, إِذَا أَمَّا أَحَدُكُمُ النَّاسَ فَلْيُكَفَّفْ. He said that when any one of you is the imam for the people in salat, keep it light, keep it brief. فَلْيُكَفَّفْ. He said, فَإِنَّ فِيهِمْ, because among them, the people that you are leading, you have as-saghira, the young, wal-kabira, and the old, wal-da'ifa, and the weak. and al-marida, and the sick. And then he said, فَإِذَا صَلَّى وَحْدَهُ فَيُصَلِّي كَيْفَ شَاءَ. And when you praying by yourself, make the prayer as long as you want, or pray how you want. Walhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen wa afdalu salatu wa atamu taslim ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in wa radiyallahu ta'ala an sadat al-tabi'in wa ulama al-amalin wa a'immatul arabat al-mujtahidin wa muqallidihim ila yawm al-din amma ba'd. Alhamdulillah, we learn a lot of lessons from this situation, and this is a well-known hadith. You can find it both in Bukhari and Muslim, muttafiqun alayh. The hadith is agreed upon. And Imam Muslim has in his Sahih many various riwayat, or many various narrations of the hadith. Here, brothers, move up, we're running out of space. The beautiful thing about our scholars, they were extremely wise. Like Imam Bukhari has this situation, this hadith narrated in his Sahih more than one time, like many of the hadith in Sahih Bukhari. For example, he has this hadith in a chapter regarding getting angry or raising your voice while giving a mau'idah, or giving a lecture or a talk. Because when the Prophet ﷺ said this, he was extremely angry. He was upset at the fact that somebody was leading the salat, leading the people, and they did not take those people into consideration. Imam Bukhari also has it in the section of salat regarding the actions of the imam, how he should keep the prayer light. I remember there was a masjid, not in this city, but they didn't really have an established imam. And so it was, whoever was there would lead the salat for the most part. There were a few people who were known, and the administration would allow them to lead the salat. And for Maghrib and Isha, it almost became like an amateur night. Because people will go home, work on the longest surah that they're memorizing, and then they will stand up for the salat, and you can tell that they just newly, freshly memorized the surah, and so it was almost like it was a competition. And it was as if they forgot about this sunnah. These same people, they recited their longest surah in the audible prayers, in Maghrib and Isha. But when they made Salatul Dhuhr and Asr, it's very short. You're like, wow, he prayed very fast. Because it was all riyah, it was all for showing off for the people. And one of the things about riyah, showing off for the people, it deprives you and me of reward for the act. So while the act may be good, but there was no ikhlas in it. We weren't doing it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the action has no reward, it has no benefit in it for us. And we're talking about salat, so maybe you just got credited for performing an obligation. You got the obligation off of your back, but the extra reward maybe you didn't get it. Because you were praying with the pleasure of people in mind, but you wasn't praying for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is one of the most important things that we have to have in every aspect of our life, is ikhlas. You have to be sincere. Sometimes that sincerity will make you at odds with people because you're not doing what they like or what they want. But you have to be true to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can't be like those people who can't look at themselves in the mirror. After they get old and they say, oh man, I wasted my life, I didn't live for this person, live for that person, I done stabbed this person in the back. I done did this wrong. You can't even look yourself in the mirror. You shouldn't be like that type of person. You should be able to go to sleep at night comfortably. Even if you're having hardship, you should be able to sleep comfortably, like, you know, well, alhamdulillah, I feel I did the best I could do today, and I didn't hurt anybody, at least intentionally. That's one of the benefits of examining the life of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Also, we know of the well-known hadith where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "La yu'minu ahadukum hatta yuhibba li akihi ma yuhibbu li nafsihi." None of you believes until he loves for his brother what he loves for himself. This is a deen of brotherhood. This is a deen where you're concerned about everybody else, including yourself. This is not a deen where you're selfish. People that are selfish and they don't care about anybody else, they usually don't last long in the deen. And usually their life is hard. Because it's all about them. They don't care about anything else. Allah puts obstacles in their way because they're so selfish. This is a deen where we're concerned about humanity in general, but our Muslim brothers and sisters in particular. This hadith also gives us wisdom on how we as leaders, because all of us are leaders. Just because you may or may not be the imam, you are a leader. You're a leader in your family. The Prophet ﷺ told us that. You may be a leader at work. You may be a leader in your community organization. This hadith teaches us how we're supposed to be. When you're in front, when you're leading, be mindful of who's behind you. One of the states we have to be in when we make salat, for example, is a state of khushu', concentration. You're supposed to be focusing on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's extremely hard. And us as leaders, especially when we're leading the prayer, we have to keep that in mind. I remember a while ago, I was giving a khutbah, and I had a friend of mine who had just came home, and it was summertime. You know, summertime people blasting music, and the window was open, and so somebody was blasting music, and I'm giving a khutbah. He like this, in the khutbah, like moving to the beat. I'm like, subhanAllah. I'm looking at him like, he got caught. And for sure it's messed up because you know. Even in the Jumu'ah khutbah, it's supposed to be like you're in Salat. A lot of us don't recognize that. The way we stand in the ranks for Salat is the way we're supposed to be sitting. A lot of us, we don't have no back problems whatsoever, but we sit on the wall. Or we go to the back, like the women. The women pray in the back. But that's why Jumu'ah Salat is 2 rak'ahs and not 4. Because the khutbah is the substitution for the other 2 rak'ahs. This is why there's signs all over the place. Silence your cell phones. Why? Because you don't want your khushu' messed up. And in another narration, the Prophet ﷺ said he intended to say a certain surah or to recite something, and then he heard children crying, so he shortened the salat. Why? Because he knows that the mother or the father is not going to be able to concentrate because their child is crying. He's thinking about the people who's behind him. I've seen situations where there's multiple babies crying, and the imam is going on, Alif Lam Mim. Well, where's the sunnah at? We don't care that you know Surah Al-Baqarah. We care about connecting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Pray Surah Al-Baqarah at night by yourself. But you don't do that. You pray, Ikhlas. Surah Nasr. But in front of the people, it's long surahs. Because you're not thinking about them, you're thinking about yourself and your position among them. We have to be mindful of who's with us, who's behind us. As the Prophet ﷺ, he said, keep it light. And light for them wasn't light for us. Like light for them was Like the surahs they call Mufassal. Like maybe in the 29th juice of the Quran, or the 28th juice. Pretty long surah. When these incidents that I'm narrating was happening, the Sahaba who was leading the prayer was reciting Baqarah and Al-Imran, the longest surahs in the Quran. Baqarah, 286 long ayats. And this is what they were reciting. We're not like them. So long for them and short for them is different for us. It's also important, this teaches us that we have to know what our people are built for. Even when people think that they're built for something, they're not built for it. I'm not going to mention no names because they're not really important to us, but you know, trending this week is on social media, some rapper tried to go to the hood and claim a gang. Live on social media. He got roughed up by a little homie, not even an OG. Looking stupid, claiming a gang and all that kind of stuff. And he had to come out with an apology. I apologize to my fans. He wasn't built for it. Everybody know you a cartoon pop star. You ain't no thug. Stay in your lane. A lot of us are like that with the deen. I want the knowledge. I want all the knowledge. I want to learn this. I want to learn that. That's good. But are you built for it? I want to be like, you know, Sheikh so-and-so, Imam so-and-so, or Qadi so-and-so. Do you know what they did to get the knowledge that they have? Are you built for it? Are you ready to do what they did? I want to be like Imam Nawawi. You know what Imam Nawawi did? What he sacrificed? He never got married. Think of all the books we know that Imam Nawawi has written. And he died before the age of 40. He was young. He never made it into adulthood technically. Riyadh al-Salihin, Arba'in, Al-Afkar, Adab al-Mufti, on and on and on. Imam Nawawi is a giant. He's one of those scholars that said, there was a couple of people in our Islamic history that said this, as young children, 6, 7 years old. Hey, won't you come out and play? He said, no, I wasn't created for that. It's a young child. It's normal. Play. Come on and play. I wasn't created for that. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, I only created men and jinn to worship me. This is what he's thinking about as a young child. People like that are special. You may say, well, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we follow his sunnah and, he didn't have to work hard. Have you read Sahih Bukhari, the first chapter on how revelation began? It wasn't just like, oh, he was chosen, let me just get this revelation real quick. No, it was weighty. It is reported that even when he was on a riding beast and revelation would come to him, that the weight of the revelation, something tangible that you can't see, made him buckle and the animal that he was on buckle, because it was heavy. He would break out in a hard sweat on a cold day. Angel Jibril would not leave him until he understood what was revealed to him. So don't think the Prophet ﷺ had it easy. You have to put in work. You have to be in solitude a lot of times. A lot of us can't take to be alone by ourselves because it's too painful. We did too much dirt. We got too many demons we didn't confront. So when we get by ourselves, we just can't take it. Oh, God, I can't take this. I need to hang with somebody. I need to be somewhere. Let me get on social media. Let me go to your house. Let me go here. Let me go there. I need to be around somebody. Holding that much knowledge takes solitude. You got to be by yourself for memorization and reflection. And then you have to deal with shaitan. Because shaitan don't want you to learn anything. As soon as you open a book, most of us, including me, know it. Crack it, okay, I'm going to get some knowledge. Start yarning. Why? Because that shaitan is attacking you. He don't want you to get that knowledge. If you was in the club or whatever, you wouldn't yarn not one time. Or if you was in a movie watching, you can go to the movie theater. Oh, that movie was hot. Let's go sneak in the other one. You ain't yawned one time. But you read one paragraph. Ugh. You have to fight that to seek knowledge. And so as leaders in your family, you have to understand that about your children, about your wives, or whoever you are in authority over. Sometimes you want to stuff the knowledge down their throat. Here, learn this. They may not be built for it. There was a time when you wasn't built for it. Meet people where they're at, and then raise them up. You know, Imam Malik said, knowledge, you have to come to it. It doesn't go to you. There was a famous comedian, he made a joke, and he said that some of us, we sit at home all day waiting for a job. And we be sitting in the house, not we, you know, wasn't Muslims, but he's sitting in the house smoking weed. Who is it? Job. Oh man, I've been waiting for you, come on in. That's how we are with the knowledge. We just sit. We started class, brothers start pulling out pillows and stuff, laying down, sleeping. I want knowledge. It ain't gonna come that way. It's never gonna come that way. You gotta go to it. You gotta put in work for it. Knowledge has a hak over you, has a right over you. You gotta put in work for it. I'll give you another example. Say for example, you don't know nothing about fixing cars. You're not an auto mechanic. And we got auto mechanics in here. But for some reason you were forced to change your own brakes. Now, a halfway mediocre mechanic would do that in an hour or less. But you struggling with it, you don't got nothing to spread the disc off the drum, and you fighting with it for 4 or 5 hours. And it's fairly easy to do, but you put in work to do it. You may have to have gone back and forth to the auto parts store a few times. By the time you finish changing those brakes, you're going to know the brakes. That's one thing you know how to do. You may not know how to change the light bulb on the tail light, but you know how to change them brakes. I'm speaking from experience. I'm talking about myself. Don't know how to do nothing else, but I know how to change the brakes. Get to the red drum brake and something else. But the patent, I can do that. Why? Because you put in work for it, you fiddle with it, you looked at it, you tried to get the book, you watched YouTube, the instructions was in Chinese, man, you have to figure it out yourself. It's the same thing with this knowledge. You have to get into it, you have to interact with it. And by the time you finally get it, you got it. And it's obligatory upon you to teach it. You can't keep it to yourself. And so just like it was hard for you to struggle to get it, there's people behind you that may not be there yet. Be mindful, because feed him. As the Prophet ﷺ said regarding Salat, is the Sadir, the young, people whose minds are immature. They're young in age, their minds are immature. They may not be thinking about these things. The old, the Kabir, they're getting old. They're getting weak. Their faculties are not as strong as they used to be. But da'if, the people that are weak, and this could be weak anyway, weak in the body, can't stand too long. Maybe weak in intellect. Everybody's not on the same level. When you begin to teach somebody or lead somebody, you have to kind of feel them out. And if you're not able to fill them out, have somebody else fill them out, because you're held responsible. Wal marida, and the sick. There's some people that may be sick with you. You don't know. Everybody's not walking around here with a sign, yeah, I'm sick. You may be leading this long salat, and somebody may just had an operation on their leg, for example. Happened to me. I had surgery on my knee. And after you know, it became apparent when I wasn't walking with the crutches or whatever anymore. When I stood for a while, it would begin to hurt. I had to gradually get it back in order. You don't know me, you don't know that. You think standing there, let me get Bakra in real quick. No. But however, whenever you by yourself, pray as you like.
Imam Naeem Abdullah of Masjid Al Mu'min and Nur Zaman Institute is available for speaking engagements. You can contact Imam Naeem Abdullah at the following: via telephone at 267-388-0823 or write him at 537 Paulson Avenue, Pittsburgh, PA 15206, or via email at imamnaeem@nurzamaninstitute.org.
Bismillah.
Muhammad